Welcome to Helen's Journey. Improve your English skills through this exciting story about Helen, an Ethiopian-American girl exploring Ethiopia and trying to find her birth family. Brought to you by the U.S. Embassy to Ethiopia. The U.S. invests in Ethiopians. Episode 24. Jimma. Welcome back, friends. Previously on Helen's Journey, Helen and Khaled have been traveling around Ethiopia for their research project. In Hawassa, Zagay said that Khaled has feelings for Helen. Khaled didn't want to talk about it. Now they're in Jimma for their final fieldwork trip. Will they talk about it now? Let's listen and find out.
Welcome to Jimma. For your first experience in Jimma, you must have punna.
Yes, I can't wait.
Okay, try it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really delicious.
I should tell Samira to source coffee beans from here for her cafe.
Did her cafe open yet? I'm happy to connect her with exporters.
Not yet, but she probably needs samples. I can take her a couple kilos of coffee from here to try. She applied for a small business loan, so she's waiting for that to be approved, and then she can open her cafe.
Small business loan? So the bank gives her money to open her business?
Yeah. You don't have that here?
I'm not sure.
Do you think we will have time to visit the Abba Jafar Palace while we are here? Someone at the U.S. Embassy was telling me about it, and I really want to see it.
Yeah, I think we can find time to visit it.
The embassy is working with local partners to restore it. The project includes working with local craftsmen to design a maintenance plan for the palace.
That's really wonderful of the Americans to support the palace. Abba Jafar Palace is one of the most important cultural heritage sites in the Oromia region.
Then I must visit it. So, how far is your hometown from here?
Agaro? It's about 45 kilometers away.
Okay, it's not too far.
I'm going to visit my family for 2 days after we finish our research. You are invited to come. My family will love to meet you.
Really?
Of course, but our home is small. It won't be like your apartment in Addis.
I know it will be different. That's partly why I want to go. I want to see how an Ethiopian family lives outside of Addis.
Okay, I'll call my mother and tell her we are both coming.
But Khaled, please tell her not to do anything special for us. I don't want your family to spend extra money because I am visiting.
An American is visiting. Of course my mother will plan something special. Don't worry. I'm bringing them some money to help them out this winter.
Well, I should bring a gift. I wish we had planned this before we got to Jimma. Now I have to find them a gift from Jimma, which is basically where they live.
Yeah, the main tourist item for Jimma is coffee, but they don't need that.
What about one of the wood carvings? I saw on our drive from the airport to the hotel a lot of shops with woodwork.
Yeah, that's a good idea. The dukkha originated in this region.
The what?
The dukkha. The stool we are sitting on right now. You see them a lot at the little coffee kiosks.
These stools are called dukkha? I really like them. They're surprisingly comfortable.
You could get them one of those or something else from one of the woodwork shops. We can look later today. Our research starts tomorrow.
How many villages are we visiting?
Tomorrow we go to Saka and Shabi. The next day, Dedo. And last day of research we go to Yebu.
Great. And then our research is finished.
Yes. I can't believe this is our final fieldwork trip.
I know. Now the real work of organizing our data and making conclusions and writing papers gets to begin. Actually, writing the papers is my favorite part. I've been identifying some journals we can submit to. Hopefully we can get published.
That would be good.
If you want to become a professor, you need publications.
You are right.
So, if you get your visa and we can go to the conference in Chicago, we should be able to meet some other scholars who can give us good feedback. Do you know when you will find out about the visa to the U.S.?
Well, I wanted to surprise you. I had my interview at the embassy yesterday, and I was approved for a visa.
What? I can't believe you didn't tell me immediately. Congratulations! I am so happy and relieved. We need to book our flights to Chicago soon.
Okay. The hotel has a Wi-Fi, so we can do that there. We can do it this afternoon if you want.
Okay, so this afternoon we are shopping and booking flights to America. Do you have anything you need to do to coordinate with the drivers and interpreters?
We don't need interpreters for this trip. I'm from here, remember? I speak Oromo.
Oh, right. I wasn't thinking.
And yeah, I need to call the driver and confirm the pickup time for tomorrow morning. But that won't take long.
Great.
So, should we check with the local government agencies about your adoption? If we are planning to go to Agaro, we won't have a lot of time. Maybe we could do it now.
Honestly, I don't care. I don't think I'm going to find them. At least not this way.
Well, I think you will find something eventually. You just have to be patient. Adama might also have records. You should visit there.
I don't think there will be time for me to travel there before we go to Chicago. And I am not sure if I will be coming back to Ethiopia.
Oh,
I still haven't completely decided, but I am not sure if I will renew my Fulbright scholarship.
you don't like it here?
I love it here. I think I am just tired of the disappointment. I thought I would find my family. I thought I would understand myself better, but I still feel confused about my identity. It's almost like the longer I am here, the more aware I am that I am not Ethiopian. You know, culturally.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard.
I can't speak an Ethiopian language. I can't do the shoulder dance. I don't know how to cook shiro.
You can easily learn those things.
Easily?
Okay, it might not be easy. It will take time. Shiro is easy. Anyone can learn that. But these are reasons you should stay. If you stay longer, you'll be more comfortable here.
Yeah, that's what Samira tells me too.
Also, I don't think those things make someone an Ethiopian. You were born here, you are Ethiopian.
But I didn't grow up here.
So, you grew up in America. You are also American. You are two things. I don't think you should be sad about that. You should feel grateful.
Thanks. You are so wise. Would you miss me if I didn't come back?
Of course. I would miss you. But I need to tell you something.
Really?
Yes. But you must promise not to tell anyone.
Okay, I promise.
I have been planning something. When I go to America for the conference, I won't come back to Ethiopia. I will go live with my cousin in Minnesota.
What?
I am going to talk to my family about it this weekend when we are visiting. Right now, Alex knows my plan. You can't tell anyone, especially the people at the U.S. Embassy.
Khalid, you can't do that. Why?
Because you will see when we visit my family. They are struggling. The farm is struggling. I send them money when I am able. But I don't earn very much money. I can work in the U.S. and help them more.
But...
Right now, my brother is taking care of the farm. My mother is getting older. She can't help us much. I'm not there to help them. My sisters are going to finish high school. They're really intelligent. I want them to go to university. But if I can't offer my family more support, they will have to stay on the farm.
Khalid, I'm sorry. I didn't realize things were so difficult for your family.
That's life here. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I'm just saying I need to do what I can to help them. Now I have this incredible opportunity to go to America. I have to use it.
But isn't that visa fraud? Your visa is for a short-term visit. It doesn't allow you to work there. You will be an undocumented immigrant, and life is very hard for undocumented immigrants in the United States. Sometimes companies hire them and pay them very low wages and take advantage of them.
I know there will be challenges.
What does Alex think? Does he support this idea?
No, he's really against it. He thinks I should be in Ethiopia, working to make Ethiopia better.
I agree with Alex. There has to be another way. You will be breaking the law. There could be consequences.
I understand the risks.
I think Zagaye was right. You have feelings for me and you don't want to talk about it. You were just running away to America.
So, maybe I don't want to work with you for another year and watch you fall in love with someone else.
So it's true.
Yes, it's true.
I didn't realize that.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's walk back to the hotel. I need to arrange things with the driver.
Khalid, wait.
Whoa! Khalid told Helen about his plan to disappear in the U.S. Helen is not happy. Why does she care so much? Do you think she likes Khalid as more than a friend? Now, Khalid is upset with her and doesn't want to talk about his feelings. What will happen? Let's listen to future episodes and find out. Now, for a lesson on English language. Time for vocabulary. Let's look at some words from the story. Our first vocabulary term is maintenance. Helen said,
The embassy is working with local partners to restore it. The project includes working with local craftsmen to design a maintenance plan for the palace.
Maintenance is a noun that means the act of keeping property or equipment in good condition by making repairs, correcting problems, etc. The U.S. Embassy is helping to restore the palace. One way they are supporting the palace is by working with local staff to design a plan to keep the building in good condition. The second vocabulary word is conclusion. Helen said,
I know. Now the real work of organizing our data and making conclusions and writing papers gets to begin.
Conclusion is a noun that in this context means an opinion or decision that is formed after a period of thought or research. Helen and Khalid have been doing research for months and collecting data. Now, they're ready to start organizing their data and forming opinions from that research. They're going to make some conclusions. The third term is surprisingly. Helen said,
These stools are called duka? I really like them. They're surprisingly comfortable.
Surprisingly is an adverb that means unexpected or unusual, causing surprise. Helen is sitting in a traditional Ethiopian stool. It's comfortable, and she didn't expect that. It made her feel surprised. Our fourth vocabulary term is wise. Khalid and Helen said,
So, you grew up in America. You are also American. You are two things. I don't think you should be sad about that. You should feel grateful.
Thanks. You are so wise. Would you miss me if I didn't come back?
Wise is an adjective that means based on good reasoning or information, showing good sense or judgment. Helen thinks that Khalid is showing good reasoning or sense. He is helping her understand the situation. She appreciates his wisdom. And the fifth vocabulary term is run away. Helen told Khalid,
I think Zagaye was right. You have feelings for me and you don't want to talk about it. You were just running away to America.
Run away is an expression that means try to avoid acknowledging or facing up to an unpleasant or difficult situation. Helen thinks Khalid wants to avoid his feelings for her. He is running away from her by staying in the U.S. past his visa date. What do you think? Time for expressing yourself in English. Asking for someone's confidence. Asking for someone's confidence means you are requesting a relationship in which you tell personal and private information to someone. You want to tell someone a secret or personal information, and you want them to respect your privacy by not sharing. Let's listen to an example from the episode.
Of course. I would miss you. But I need to tell you something.
Really?
Yes. But you must promise not to tell anyone.
Okay, I promise.
Khalid wants to tell Helen about his plan to stay in the U.S., but the plan is a secret, so he must ask for her confidence. He starts by telling her he has something to say. Then he makes her promise not to share the information with anyone. Next time you want to ask for someone's confidence, tell them. Promise not to tell anyone. Time for grammar. Can and can't. Can or can't plus a base form verb is one way to express ability in English. Can means you are able to have the power to do something. Can't means you are not able or do not have the power to do something. Let's listen to an example from the episode.
I can't speak an Ethiopian language. I can't do the shoulder dance. I don't know how to cook shiro.
You can easily learn those things.
Helen is saying she is not able to speak an Ethiopian language. She is not able to do any traditional Ethiopian dances. Khalid assures her she is able to learn. She can. Next time you speak about ability or inability, use can or can't. Time for facts on American culture and education. Souvenirs in the U.S. Helen and Khalid talk about common souvenirs in Jimma, like wood carvings, coffee, and traditional stools. Souvenirs are something you buy and keep to remind you of a place you visited. The U.S. is like Ethiopia in that each city or state has its own souvenirs that tourists buy to remember the place. From the southwestern U.S., you can get silver and turquoise jewelry. In the Northeast, you can buy maple syrup. In California, you can try wine from the Napa Valley. In Pennsylvania, you can get traditional wood furniture made by the Amish community. There are many, many more. What souvenirs do people buy when they visit your hometown or region? Thank you for listening to Helen's Journey. We'll see you next time. The introduction and closing music, Blue Ska, is by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons.
Executive Producer, Hailu Kabada. Directors, Abdullah Birru, Antaneh Brahani. Sound and Editing, Tamrat Alamu. Narrator, Timothy Green. Casts, Theodros Tasama as Alamayo. Zarihun Brahanu as Khalid. Adana Gitacho as Zagaya.